Good morning. On his way to Jerusalem, Jesus accompanies the Pharisees on a number of occasions, and they try to trap him by giving him difficult questions to answer. And this today is one of those occasions. We're going to look at Mark chapter 10, verses 1 to 12, on day 294 of our 365 days with the Bible. This is from St. Mark's Gospel. It's also copied in Matthew and Luke. And I'm going to turn you around so that you can see the text that I'm about to read to you. So he got up and went from there, Capernaum, into the area of Judea, and then on across the Jordan. The crowds collected around him once again, and once again, as usual, he taught them. Pharisees came up to him, and in order to assess him, they asked, "Does the law allow a man to divorce his wife?" He answered them, "What did Moses order you to do?" They said, "Moses permitted a man to write a divorce certificate to dismiss her." But Jesus said to them, "Moses wrote this instruction to you because of your hard hearts. From the beginning of creation, God made people male and female, and that's why men leave their parents and marry wives. The two become one. They are no longer two, but one. So what God has joined together, people are not allowed to separate." Inside the house, the disciples also asked him about this. To them he said this, "Anyone who divorces his wife and marries someone else commits adultery with her, and if she divorces her husband and marries someone else, she is committing adultery." Now, amongst Jews, it was up to the man to initiate divorce proceedings, and the Torah gave some protection to the woman in such cases. Amongst Gentiles, women could also initiate divorce. So the final verse I've quoted today reflects the fact that Mark was writing in Rome, and so that must have affected the form of this final pronouncement, which it took when Mark was writing. The Pharisees were there, of course, in order to find some cause against Jesus. They had two traps in mind. One was to catch him contradicting Moses, and the other was to find him guilty of sedition against Herod's rule. Jesus is not forbidding divorce in these verses. He is, however, saying that divorce is only necessary because of human imperfection. What God actually wants is for couples to come together in the natural way and become united according to God's will. God would want them to fulfill the vows they made to each other. It's not that God wants or desires divorce, it's just that he makes provision for it, for the sake of human imperfection. The Pharisees had lost sight of this distinction and imagined that Moses and God approved of divorce and saw it as a good thing. This distinction has come forward into the Christian teachings about marriage. It is the will of God that married couples should keep their vows, and that separation and divorce are due to our human failings. We should not, however, be so unkind as to place undue burdens on those whose marriages fail. Divorcees should be treated as all sinners are treated, with understanding love and the possibility of forgiveness. Jesus' argument is not with them. His argument is with Pharisees, who make everyone's life harder by the harshness of their judgments. We must never fall into their trap. Well, tomorrow we come to the charming scene where parents bring children to Jesus for a blessing. To the disciples, this is an unnecessary encumbrance, but Jesus has other ideas, and I'll see you tomorrow.